Hello and welcome to another Uncomplication. I'm going to dive right in. Man, I suck at YouTube. I have recorded so many videos and I don't post them, and I think it's in part because the technology is just a pain in the ass. It takes forever to record these, export these. So here I've got a video that I made on Friday, and I'm trying to find ways to get better at this. And I think I've actually cracked the code. So one of the things that's going to be happening is in the weeks ahead, I have found a production crew that is going to help us do kind of a morning show. So this is going to be once a week to start. We might start doing it more than that with my friend Derek. But I think just by taking the responsibility away from me of having to like do all the editing and all the production and posting and all of that, we're putting together a little team that can help us just get more content out more frequently, because there's been a ton of stuff going on, and I wish that I had been better about posting throughout all of it. Yeah, but let's dive in. So, a couple things. First, I just want to share my enthusiasm, excitement. Many of you found this channel when I was in the depths of hell for myself. And I think that's an experience that I probably projected quite a bit, but I also found a lot of people that resonated. And it's funny that when I look at a crypto chart and I see all of these ups and downs, it is so similar to how our lives can feel. Where when we're on the top, oh, we just have our sights on these amazing futures and this self image, and then it can turn around in a heartbeat and you find yourself in free fall. And I think I bottomed out a number of times coming from my past life, which really just COVID and everything threw a huge wrench in. But we're still here. And I think that in the time that I've spent away from YouTube, I've been doing a lot of digging and relentless, self-discovery, which I know sounds cheesy, but I am a completely new version of myself. I feel so good. I've been making art. That's actually one of my paintings up on the wall. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I've been at it hardcore. So I have, this Thursday at Mugs Coffee Lounge in Old Town, I'm going to have, I have stacks and stacks and stacks of paintings that I've done. And I'm really excited to, be kind of flexing that part of myself again. You know, I've gotten away from YouTube, I've gotten back to my roots, and I'm, just kicking ass. I really recommend, if anyone is in a similar spot to what I just described, this book has been super, super helpful. I've been doing it now. This is my 5th week, and just recovering that sense of identity and purpose and possibility has been awesome. So I guess the important things are, stay tuned for the Uncomplication morning show. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of my art. I'm at Thin Air. Link is in the description. And yeah, let's do this crypto thing. I'll make good on that promise. I'll tell you my thoughts. I've not been following along with crypto nearly as much. I've had a dollar cost average, a DCA buy that has been running since early spring. So I've just been building up a little stockpile of Bitcoin. I haven't really been focused on anything else. I might add some ETH into that eventually, but I've just been DCA and walk away. But we are in this place where everyone that I know that's in crypto is like, oh man, here we go again. Are we going down? What's happening? So I just want to share some thoughts, and I want to start here on the BLX. And I have the logarithmic regression bands on the weekly. And if I zoom out here, let's just go to monthly so we can see this whole thing. And it's interesting how those log bands don't work on the monthly. Let's do it on weekly, and we'll just kind of zoom to fit here. So here is my crypto thesis. I've talked about this a number of times on this channel, that our thesis in crypto is what we think is truth and why. And it's good from time to time to come back and evaluate that and see if it's changed. And for me, my crypto thesis hasn't really changed much. When I look at this image, I see on the logarithmic scale Bitcoin and crypto by proxy going up and to the right. And so I still feel that crypto is a good investment. It's about understanding how these very pronounced cycles play into a narrative that gets people coming in with the appetite to buy and that intensity that can drive a cycle. And so when I look at this, the first thing that I observe is that from a logarithmic regression standpoint, we are flattening. So that means each time we've had one of these cycles, these blue lines are around the halvings, and I haven't had these locked, so whenever I resize, TradingView likes to kind of adjust my dates a little bit. So these are not exact, but they're close. So each time we've had one of these halvings, it's kicked off a bull run. We've had a couple of these where we've had, one top and then it kind of comes back down and then another top. But if we look from just what I'm going to call the bear market floor, and this is all pretty arbitrary, but here's a 23,000% growth from this kind of bear market floor from the first peak to that next cycle peak. And then the next time around, if we go from that sort of arbitrary floor up to the peak in 2017, 2018, we're looking at about 9,000% growth increase. And then if we go back to 2018-ish, 2019, and that bear market floor up to the most recent peak, we're at about 2,000%. So we're not looking at just the value, we're looking at the percentage gain. So if you were here early and you were able to not buy that Bitcoin pizza, but hold on to your 30,000 Bitcoins or whatever, you could have seen life-changing wealth just from the sheer exponential power of this new asset class getting established. Now, however, if we just played this game, and again, this is just drawing lines on charts, this is not scientific, there's more people in the YouTube space that can be more scientific than what I'm going to be, but if I just kind of continue this curve generally, and I think about how each time we have a peak to fit within this regression, we come back down into these green bands, and we've really just started that. So I definitely could see us getting down to the $10,000, $12,000 range here over the next couple months. That's not to say that there couldn't be some like little fake out spikes and whatever else, but I think this period of time, interest is deflated. People are pissed, and there's all kinds of chaos going on in the crypto space with the collapse of FTX, and before that it was Celsius, and all of these players that were really, coming in hardcore and got caught in their own game. We're seeing that kind of fall out of the bottom of the market. But that has happened, I believe, in each of these cycles. There have been these huge news stories that everyone is a genius when it's going up, and then there's chaos, despair, disillusionment, and crash at the bottom. But the cycle is such that I have no doubt that players that understand this space are setting up for the next big rush. And while I don't think it's going to go up by 2,000%, if we did kind of crawl down along here, and then we get to our halving and we sort of start this cycle again. And if I do, we'll just double down here with our fancy indicators. Let's do here's our Fibonacci retracements, which also kind of put us up in these ranges. And this was fairly useful last time. If we looked at that bottom, we got just into the top of those fib extensions. And so if we did that again, and I just draw my arbitrary lines here, let's see, we kind of come up here, we kind of test, and we blast off, we could be looking at over $100,000 Bitcoin, $100,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin in the next cycle. Who knows what that's actually going to look like? Who knows what the narrative will be? Who knows what the forces will be in the world that's driving this? I mean, in this last cycle, we had the perfect storm of, out of the COVID recession, and then all of the worry about printing money, and all of the stuff that was getting me into crypto at these points was about, holy shit, fiat's going to collapse. I need a lifeboat. I need to get all my assets into this other more stable, more protected asset class. Oh, DeFi. I don't want big banks and lenders between me and my money. I want to be able to borrow and do all of these things unregulated, yada, yada, yada. But there was a narrative there that was driving it. And there will be a narrative next time. We just haven't got there yet. So that's my thesis here. When I look at this chart and I just think about a cycle like this, I mean, it's like a heartbeat. We've got boom, 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 boom. You know, is this the time that crypto goes to zero? I don't think so. I mean, when you really boil it down, what is Bitcoin? It's digital poker chips. And what is the crypto space but a giant unregulated casino? And fear and greed are undefeated, and people will be coming back. And all of us that got burned and hurt the first time around, or the second time around, or the third time around, kitty, don't walk on my art. You know, we want to come back and we want to play again with the knowledge that we have, and such is life, and so the game goes on. And you know, I think there's also opportunity here, but I think that there's been, at least for me, kind of a realization of what this is and what this isn't. So I definitely drank the Kool-Aid in crypto early on, and next time around, I think I'm just going to be a little bit more skeptical and guarded. That doesn't mean I can't be optimistic and, you know, hopefully execute on a plan. But my plan is, as it has been for a while, to continue to build a nice little stockpile throughout all of this chaos when everything looks like shit, and to turn off the noise, stop watching the YouTube, stop listening to all the people and the talking heads that are just driving things in both directions. So we've talked about this a lot too. What are you going to get on YouTube? Well, when things are in these ranges of distribution, when the smart holders are selling, you're going to get these huge predictions of going to the moon, and why, you know, buying at 70K is brilliant because we're going to 220. And that's what you're going to be hearing. And all of the people that are telling you that are on some level either cashing in, or they're stupid and they're going along with the herd. And there are a lot of influencers and people that absolutely made out like bandits, because at the time when everyone was selling, they were able to kind of get that insider opportunity to get into those altcoins first, then pump and dump and all that kind of crap. But my point is, on YouTube, when it's in a distribution, you're hearing the moon story. And when it's in an accumulation or even a prolonged bear market thing, you're going to hear the doom and gloom. You're going to hear, all of the reasons to be fearful. And I don't like that stuff. I'm done with it. And all of these, pieces that I've painted, and the life that I'm living right now, and my self-esteem, and just the stuff that I've been doing is directly proportional to the time that I've spent away from YouTube. I'm hanging out in coffee shops and I'm painting these little paintings, and then I'm framing them and I'm going to be selling them. And my point is only that I think that if I had got sucked into the YouTube world, started taking sponsorship money, getting fed there, it could have been a very different story for me. So I'm very thankful that I've been able to step away. I still encourage everyone else to do the same. But that being said, I recognize the opportunity here for myself as an artist, and as I call myself a philosoph artist. I think that's fitting. I miss the conversation. I miss sharing the things that I'm going through. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but more ups than downs lately. Again, I kind of feel like my chart is almost in direct inverse to the Bitcoin chart, and that where I was hitting some bottoms, now I've really been up and up, as I've taken time away from this. And I'd love to share some of those insights. And a lot of the videos that I've been recording, I just want to get better about posting, and I think kind of doing the morning show style is going to be a cool way to just stay in touch. make it a frequency that I can maintain. But I don't know. I really appreciate this whatever it is that we have, and those of you that have been around in the comments and just following the journey that I've been on, and sharing your own journey. This life is nothing but an opportunity to be a creative force in the world. I really believe that. That is the center that I have lived from for so long. And I think if anything, I just got caught living almost a fake virtuous life. I think that I had put so much of my own creative needs underground that they were rotten. They were rotting. And when I finally came to pay the toll to just dig through all of that, it had become such a mountain that it was very difficult, and it was very ego bruising, and it was very depressing. And I remember coming on here at times and just saying, like, the world has no good stories. And really what I should have said is, I have no good stories in my life right now. And the things that I had invested my value in, which were success and the image of being, a perfect husband and family man, all of this stuff, it kind of fell apart. And I see why that was an expression not of my true, authentic, artistic soul, but of the cages that I put myself in. And so I know that this is what it is. This is who I am. I appreciate you guys coming back. And yeah, be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of my art at Thin Air. And I look forward to sharing all the cool stuff that I've got coming up in the future. So I'll leave it at that. Till next time. Cheers.